Hello, today I'm going to make a video about Ubuntu. I think it's about time because, well, I've been using it since 9.10. First I'd like to apologise though for the bad quality of my webcam. It's quite sensitive and it won't really work in dark, and, you know, there's not many places in my house that I can really, get light. But yeah, back to Ubuntu. Um, yeah, I've been a passionate Ubuntu user since like 9.10, I think, and basically I fall in love with it. Yeah, and I tried out Alpha 3 of 10.10. Well, I mean, I really liked it. Obviously, I mean the most distinctive changes are in the software center, the sort of way that they sort of change the layout, which I quite like. But essentially it's the same kind of thing. I think they've added and taken away some videos. For like a full kind of look through, I suggest you go to the Oscary show. Guy who does it, Tim, he's really good. I've liked him for a while, and as it happens, he's subscribing, and it's not like I'm just making this video to impress Tim or anything. That would be mad. Anyway, yeah. But the thing I really want to kind of talk about is, you know, kind of its place in for high performance computing, because I'm a big fan of high performance computing. Since I only have an old laptop, I dream of high performance. I should be getting an M11X Alienware, so should be so awesome. But I mean, I just want to kind of talk about what purpose Ubuntu has there, because, I mean, it would all like the 3D effects, the desktop effects, which I've seen some really amazing ones. There's one where you have like the cube, and you can, so all your the programs you're running, there'll be a face of this cube which you can turn, which I think is great. You just don't get that with closed software. Even Mac, you don't get that. So I think Ubuntu is brilliant because it can fully utilize like the really good graphic cards that we're getting out today, and really good processors that go with them. And in terms of gaming, I mean, you have Wine and Play on Linux, which pretty much will run everything that you want. I mean, I've often I won't, because yeah, my laptop sucks. But even on this old laptop, the I've got World of Warcraft running fine, ish. But on like a high performance system, you should have no problems. I mean, then also, if you have like 4 gigs of RAM or whatever, you could just make a Linux partition in your hard drive, use Ubuntu as your day-to-day OS, and just use Windows for gaming. Even better, get like an 8 gig memory stick, stick it in, and you can basically have your all your file like Ubuntu on there, all your files, and then use that, and then just use Windows for gaming. So in theory, you could go up to any computer with this one memory stick, and that is your whole computer in this memory stick. Go in and have all your files there, everything that you want. It's like the ultimate laptop, really, and God, that's so brilliant. When I first heard about that, I mean, I knew like about putting the ISO onto the memory stick, but for some reason I never thought, why not put your whole computer on a memory stick? It's just brilliant. You wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, with Windows it would take up most of the space, which it does on every computer. But I mean, back to sort of my main thing. Just think about performance again. I mean, Ubuntu has developed so much, especially from. I mean, when I used it 9.10, I still didn't think it was fully ready to go mainstream. It was really getting there, and people have said with previous versions like 7 point whatever, that it was good, but it was more just for the hobbyists. But now Ubuntu is for everyone. It's your day to day thing, and I I was talking to a friend, and she runs. She's just a general user, not loser. Sorry. um, good thing she doesn't watch my videos. She's a general user, and she was running Vista, so obviously she was having all these problems, and I used to use Vista, so I understand the problems that they have. I recommended Linux Mint to her because, as Tim from the Oscar show, who it's not like I've mentioned him before today, he and all Linux users, I say recommend Linux Mint first for first time users. I mean, I didn't actually go from Mint to Ubuntu. I kind of went straight into Ubuntu, and first time I accidentally wiped my entire disk, and then it kind of crashed and went into like, I don't know, some odd things, and then I went back to HP, but that's a long story. And I think 10.4 LTS, which is what I'm running now, and 10.10, they're going to be so much more stable. The other, like 9.10, was a bit kind of, you know, shaky at times. And I think I was running 32-bit. I prefer 64-bit, but I tend to run 32-bit on this computer because with XP, the only good version was the 32-bit version, and so I've kind of got into the habit of 32-bit. But when I get my new computer, it'll be 64 all the way. Yeah. So yeah. Really important, I think, Ubuntu, and I've seen the way, and I picture in my head it can be. It just, there's no reason why in this day and age of the recession, which we're having here in Britain. Don't know whether you have it there in Australia. Who? Oh yeah, Tim happens to live in Australia, but that's not the point. The point is, yeah, I can just really see it being used in the offices, in like, schools, because now we have XP. But when the only reason that everyone runs Windows is just because that's the way they made it when they started out. That's the business tactic they used, which to be honest was very ruthless. And so it's not because it's the best operating system. It's because, you know, it's just because the way they set about, they made it so they could dominate everything and shut out any operating system that was good. And that's why it's mass used, and it will take, I don't know whether it'll be in my lifetime, maybe to the end, that we'll start seeing open source being a stronger power, which I'm already seeing. Lots of things, I mean practically everything, servers, etc., will run on Linux, and you'd be surprised at how much open source software just a general person uses. But I think the revolution will happen, and over time the world will be a better place, because in Elliot's technology world, you'd have Wi-Fi would be provided by the local councils, because when I go somewhere, it's like, oh, I have to find somewhere that's unsecure, because everyone secures their Wi-Fi, which is kind of going, oh, Josh, I'm running out of time. But yeah, this video was kind of vague, but hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that a certain someone might have been watching. You never know. Maybe he'll be watching, and he might like it and might comment, because no one actually comments on my videos. But yeah, thanks very much. I'm gonna say rate and subscribe, which I never actually do. Maybe that's why no one actually does. But yeah, see you around. See you later, as Chris says. Oh god, I just stole that.